You are what you do with what you have. And if you're watching this, you have everything. If you go on your computer right now, you can learn anything you want, publish your ideas to 1 billion people, and build things that used to be impossible without a company. You have more power than 99% of people in history with a laptop and an espresso. So you need to ask yourself, what the fuck am I doing with it? We're in this unique point in time where the individual has so much power to shape the direction of your life and your work. But most people are just distracted by technology and learning so slow, working jobs that they hate. But those who understand that you don't need permission and that you already have all the tools you need are gonna be lapping everyone else. You can move so much faster and actually do shit that you care about if you start using what you have. If you're an ambitious, creative young person who wants exciting work, then the best framework for organizing your time, attention, and resources is to build cool shit in public. Build cool shit in public. You don't need credentials or approval or to go through these clogged systems to make a difference anymore. Like the best way to become a filmmaker is no longer to become an assistant to a director and get his coffee and suck his dick and ask him if you can work on his project. The best way to become a filmmaker is to create an actual...
How do you start to be a filmmaker? You just start. There's no process, you just start. And it takes a long time to learn, but really the only way to get there is just start. It's like anything else. You want to learn how to play basketball, you pick up the ball. You want to be a filmmaker, you just pick up whatever camera you have, probably your phone, and just start. Overthinking the process will kill any career in the creative space. You just have to do, not think.
And do that again and again, and over time, you'll actually be doing the work and building the audience who resonates with you. All the tools you need are already in your control. This approach completely changed the trajectory of my life. A year ago, I had just graduated from high school, and I knew that I wanted to be a designer and work in startups or in brands. My dream was to go to New York City because I thought that was full of the most ambitious people and the most opportunities. But when I applied to NYU and the 19 other top schools, I got rejected from every single one. When I got the last rejection letter, it felt like my dreams were being closed in my face and that I had missed my shot. All my peers had already gone, and they were there and they were doing it. So I enrolled in community college, and after 2 days of depression, I said, fuck it. Fuck this, I'm gonna do it myself. I knew I wanted to be a designer and build a company, so I started making clothes with my friend, designing products and sharing the process and ideas on Instagram. I wanted to work in the tech space, so I started learning how to code and build things from YouTube and ChatGPT. I wanted to work with interesting companies as a designer and a developer, so I started freelancing and offering my services to anyone who would take them. I did this shit for free just to learn. And so everything that I wanted to do, that I dreamt of doing, I just did it at the level that I could with what I had. I wasn't expecting the opportunities that came. And I wasn't expecting shit, I just wanted to do this. But when I was working on the clothing brand with my friend, this designer saw it and reached out to me. And he asked us if we would do a pop-up exhibit in New York at his venue. And so I skipped school for the next 2 weeks, designed a magazine, got all the clothes together, and me and my boy drove down to Manhattan and we did the show. And it was such a crazy moment to go from drawing these pictures in my sketchbook at home to standing in the city that I wanted to go to originally to work in fashion. And I was there presenting my work as a designer. And the same thing happened with my interest in tech. I had zero experience coding, I had no connections, I had nothing. And just through working on projects for free, positioning myself as someone who did this, I ended up working with my first 6 clients, and I got introduced to a friend who was gonna be at a startup accelerator over the summer. And he invited me to be a designer on his team. And so I spent my summer in a fucking mansion surrounded by other ambitious people and founders. As somebody who wanted to work at the intersection of business and technology and creativity, I went from dreaming about it to working with one of my favorite brands who I've been following since I was 16. So this year has been a crazy lesson for me in understanding that the opportunities are there. You have all the tools you need. And even if you're starting with zero experience and zero connections, you can learn the things, you can publish the work, and you can become the thing that you want to be out of your own volition. So don't wait. If there is something that calls you, that you're interested in, no matter how inexperienced you are or if you've been rejected from an opportunity or an internship, you can still do it. You have everything you need. Like being cut off from the college network and not being able to go to the city that I dreamt of, I felt like I had missed my shot. And I've just learned that that's never the case. You have the power, you have all the resources you need. Just act on them. And ironically, I learned that I don't need the acceptance, but I ended up reapplying to NYU anyway. In my essay this time, I talked about all the projects that I built that nobody asked me to, that I did out of my own curiosity and excitement, and just because I can't live without working on these things that keep me up at night. And in a sweet turn of events, I ended up getting accepted to NYU as a transfer student. So I'll be fulfilling my 15-year-old dream of moving to New York in 3 weeks. And building cool shit in public, this attitude of agency has gotten me this far, and I intend to continue building cool shit in public, which is why I'm making this video. When I get to the city, I will be working on Combat, which is a studio and community that builds products and tools for creatives. And when the time comes and opportunity arises, I intend to host events for ambitious builders and artists in the city as well. So if you're interested in that, check out combatny.com. I'll put some links. I'll be documenting my work, exploration, and experiences in the city I've dreamt of being in and thought wasn't possible. You know, we're just gonna keep building cool shit in public, and I appreciate you being here. And I hope you do the same. Take this as a sign for you to go all in on the vision that you had in your head. Build what excites you and share it with the rest of us. We need work. We need contributions that are fueled by passion, excitement, and unique creativity. And you and I are fortunate enough to be able to pursue these visions, to have the ability to chase a dream. There's been countless lives who haven't been so lucky. So go all in. Go as hard as you fucking can. Anything less is a waste. I live by the belief that you are what you do with what you have. And you have everything. So use it.